wheat, approximately 1500 liters of water is going to be utilized. Contrary to it, we had learnt about something called as the rice, and in rice we had learnt about to be approximately 100 centimeter. Do you remember about it? 100 centimeter is required. Imagine if the requirement of the plant is just 75 centimeter and still it is using 1500 liters of water for production of 1 kg of the produce. How much extra water would be required by the rice? Can have it to be double or triple, can be any amount. And this is basic thing to understand. Even for you to have food, you need to have fresh water available in your custody. हाथ में होना ही चाहिए, तब तुम खाना खा पाओ. पीने का तो साइड में, water drinking is separate. Having a food, you need to have water, and this is irrigation we're talking about. Irrigation facilities in India had been seen from quite some time. Artificial supply. 2 names have been categorically talked about out here. We're talking about the 2nd century. A canal was constructed called as Grand Anicut Canal. So please use that particular word for underlining it. Was constructed across the river Kaveri. So 3 things: 2nd century, Grand Anicut is the name, and 3rd, the river name is Kaveri. And apart from it, very recently, in comparison to 2nd century, just 1882 during the British era, we saw another canal being developed in Uttar Pradesh called as the Eastern Yamuna Canal. So 2 names. This second one option you have to remember compulsorily along with the year, because year is mentioned 1882, and the Grand Anicut we have got just the century available to us. No specific date is available. That is 2nd century. Grand Anicut on the river Kaveri and Eastern Yamuna Canal in the year 1882. These are those particular things you have to remember. Now, the paragraph which we are putting up is 3 mediums of irrigation in India. And from here, lots of confusion is seen. What exactly we see is the 3 mediums of irrigation. Irrigation, again I'm telling you, artificial supply of water or man-made supply of water, or methods applied because of human intervention, whatever you may call it. We have got is wells, tube wells all together. So within it I can also use bore well. So wells, bore wells and tube wells. Number one category. Second one we have got is the canal, and third one we have got is the ponds. So we have done is 3 categorization of artificial supply of water. Out of which what we see is wells and canals, when we combine together, it comes out to be the most prominent method of supplying water to the fields. That is commonly. And in case when I talk about how to categorize which one is number 1, which one is number 2, which one is number 3, so here there is a mention that canals and ponds comes at 2nd and 3rd. Obviously the wells are going to come at number 1. So when we have talked about wells, tube wells, bore wells, these are all the same sort of structure, vertical digging being done. It's just the diameter which is fluctuating. If I'm talking about a well, we've got a broad diameter. If I'm talking about a tube well, it is a narrow diameter, but still we have got a vertical digging being done. We're digging down vertically down in the earth till we reach to the layer where the water is available. So it comes in number 1. Majority, wherever the water is going to get fulfilled in the fields, it is going to come from the wells. Number 2 is going to be from the canals, and number 3 is going to be through. We will be having some discussion after the lecture. So wells, there is no limitation. You can dig up the well anywhere. But for the canals, you require some flat horizontal surface with very little inclination. When I say very little, means a little slope has to be there. What exactly the canal is? We have got the natural rivers, and those natural rivers will have certain diversions. These are man-made rivers. Canals is nothing but man-made rivers in which we are going to utilize the force of gravity, so that because of the slope, the gravity pulls the water and moves towards a little far off place. This is how the canals work. We don't use any electricity or any other thing. It is just the inclination, a slight inclination, which is going to help in the water transportation from rivers to far off places. So, where this flat surface is available in India, it starts from Satluj in the western part. Northwest, we have got Satluj. All the way till Brahmaputra, we have got a plain area, which we call otherwise as the Great Indian Plains. So whole plain area which is mentioned out here is from Satluj till Brahmaputra. The canal system is very effectively developed and utilized. It has been developed and utilized. And when we have got other areas apart from it, there are the deltaic region. Deltaic region of Mahanadi, Krishna, Kaveri and Godavari. 4 rivers you have to remember. Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari and Mahanadi, 4 rivers, where on the delta we find the canal system being developed. So 2 locations, north and southeastern part. Southeastern, delta region is southeastern of peninsula. Multi-purpose projects. When I am talking about a multi-purpose project, what exactly I am trying to understand you is, I have got is a flow of river, and this flow of river is getting obstructed by a big or huge wall. Usually it is surrounded on 2 sides by hills. What we have done? 2 natural barriers are there. Usually mountains are there, usually. And on the 3rd side, I have constructed a wall. And what is being done? We are obstructing the flow. We are stopping the flow. And in case water is flowing is not permissible, we will be seeing something called as a big reservoir. And this big reservoir is what we are working upon, multi-purpose. This water which has been stopped purposely by construction of special structure, which is called as the dams, what we are trying to do is, we will be preventing the water to directly flow, and hence the flood-like situation might be controlled. First thing. Right? Second thing, this water which is going to be collected behind a wall will be allowed to flow through certain turbines wherein electricity generation can take place, which we call as hydroelectricity. Now this is a big lake created, artificial reservoir, and this can be used for other activities like recreation. You can go sit out there, enjoy. There are certain sports activities, water sports activities being developed, so you can relax and come back. This is the water wherein aquatic organisms can be cultured, especially fish or crustaceans like the crabs, lobsters, and that can be sold in the market, extra source of income. Right? this water will be now utilized for lot many activities which I have just mentioned. It is preventing soil erosion, it is used as a water for drinking purposes, it is used as a water in irrigation, water which is providing to the settlement, that is the houses, generation of electricity, internal water transportation. Instead of traveling from this side to this side via roads, use the water source to travel directly out there. Navigation, entertainment, wildlife protection and development of fishery, pisciculture. And when we have got so many activities attached with some one project, the project will be called as multi-purpose. So purpose is not just once. We don't want to have only electricity generated. We don't want to have only fish getting cultivated. We don't want only recreational activity. All are going to get clubbed together, and hence it is called as multi-purpose. We have certain names given to us which are going to be utilized for the questions on the map. The multi-purpose project is given, the river is mentioned, and the states which have actually benefited because of the presence of those multi-purpose projects, that is also mentioned. So, you might be asked about where is Bakranangal Dam, or you might be tell about the dam which is on river Satluj. Two combinations. You should be knowing where Bakranangal is there and where the Satluj is. So Satluj just at the border of Himachal and Punjab, and the benefited states we have got is Haryana, Punjab and Rajasthan. How they are benefited? Either the water is being transported through canal system, or electricity which is generated that is being utilized by these particular states. So benefited. It can be any sort of benefit we are talking about. Kosi multi-purpose project is there, and it is on the river Kosi, and it happens in Bihar. Damodar Valley on river Damodar, and the benefiting states are Jharkhand and West Bengal. Hirakud Dam, it is important. Bakranangal is important. Hirakud is also important. It is on Mahanadi and happens to be benefiting Odisha. Chambal Valley on the river Chambal, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan are benefiting out of it. Nagarjun Sagar on Krishna River in southern India. Benefiting states are Andhra and Telangana. Both happens to be now different. Previously it was just one state. Krishna Raj Sagar on river Kaveri. Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are benefiting out of it. Tungabhadra on Tungabhadra River, Karnataka and Andhra are getting benefited. Narmada Valley. Now this Narmada Valley, most important one, very recently has given us the canal which travels from Sardar Sarovar project all the way till Kutch. So we have developed that canal system. So whole of Gujarat is getting travelled by that water of Narmada and providing the water to that thirsty area, Kutch, where the water was in scarcity. Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan and Maharashtra, these are benefiting states. Katna-Manakbori, Mahisagar in Gujarat, Ukai, Kakrapar just nearby to us, we have got on river Tapi in Gujarat, and finally we have got as Dharoi on river Sabarmati in Gujarat. So there are certain names given associated with Gujarat itself. Being from this particular board, it's going to be a little more important, and apart from it, those other ones which have really benefited thousands and thousands of people that have been mentioned. The list is not here complete. We have got many more smaller and bigger ones which are functional or under construction giving that activity, multi-purpose activity. But we will keep it this much for today, and tomorrow we will continue with the distribution of area under irrigation.